Hello, students, subscribers, viewers, and uh, future engineers. There is an example on 2D truss as an additional problem for you to prepare for a quiz. Hello, future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. There is an additional example problem in truss for you to prepare for a quiz. So here is the problem. For the compound thrust shown below, determine the bar force of members CD and FG. So if you notice, you cannot find a joint where there are only three members because the method of joints, the application of the method of joints is when you can find a joint where there are only two unknown members, because in 2D thrust there are only two equations of statics. So method of joint will fail to this, but another technique, actually you can apply method of joints by starting with a given joint, set the force of one member as Q, then proceed as proceed to another joint until you can find that force. So I proceed directly to the technique. So if you notice, if you look at joint F, because it is FG that is required, we can find the force of EF actually by summing up forces Y equals 0 at joint F. So we can find the force of joint F. But before that, let's solve for the reactions GY in particular. So summation of moments about A equals 0. So we have GY times 10.8, 5.4, 0.94.5, that's 10.8, is equal to 120 times 3.6 plus 90 times 7.2, then plus 60 times 6.3, 5.4 plus zero point 0.9 is 6.3. So GY is 135 kilonewtons. So this is the plan. We can also solve directly DG if we introduce this section, cutting section, and we proceed by summing up forces vertical, considering the right portion of the section, because there are two members that are horizontal, only this member that is inclined or sloping. So summing up forces vertical, we can find the force of this member. But the plan is, because I already solved FG, EF rather, summation forces vertical at joint F, so the intersection of the other two members, such as DE and DG, is at O. So we can now compute SFG directly. So to do that, at F again, summation forces vertical equals 0, so that these two horizontal members won't be involved yet. So we have SEF sine of 59.036 degrees. By the way, this is 59.036. This is inverse tangent of 1.5. That's 1.5 there. Over this distance is, because that's 7.2, and this is 5.4, 6.3 rather. So this is 0.9, 1.5. So inverse tangent of 1.5 over zero point 0.9 is 59.036 degrees, which is that angle also. So summation forces y equals 0, SEF sine 59.036 equals 60. So SEF equals 69.97 kilonewtons. So it is a tension member. We then apply similar triangles for this triangle here, small triangle, and this big triangle, this big triangle. So XO as to 1.5, equals XO plus 5.4 up to here. 5.4 as to 1.8 plus 1.5 plus 1.8 is 3.3. Solving for XO, XO is 4.5 meters. So having found XO, we then sum up moments about O considering the forces to the right of this section. So clockwise positive, so we have SFG times 1.5. Then on these two forces are involved as well as this 90 kilonewton load. So SFG times 1.5 plus and as well as GY also plus GY, which is 135 times 4.5, then equals uh, counterclockwise moments such as 90 times quantity 3.6 plus XO, which is 4.5, then plus the vertical component of this SEF, because the horizontal component also passes through O. So the vertical component SEF sine of 59, SEF 69.97 sine of 59.036 degrees times moment arm, which is 3.6 plus 4.5. Solving for SFG, SFG is 405 kilonewtons. Then CD, CD is here. So we need to know DG. Uh, we cannot directly solve for CD unless we introduce this section, but we solve this force first. If we introduce this cutting section, the unknown should be DG and CD. We sum up moment A, then we can solve for CD after we solve for DG. But my plan is solve for DG first, then we proceed to joint D. There are two remaining unknowns. Then we set up summation versus x0, y0, two equations to unknowns to solve for CD. So first, let's solve for DG by summing up forces vertical considering forces to the right of this section. So going down positive, by the way, this is 18.435 degrees. Inverse tangent of 1.8, this is 1.8, which is equal to this angle over 5.4, and that is 18.435 degrees. This is also 18.435 degrees. This is also 18.435 degrees. So summation versus y equals 0. Downward as positive, the y component of SDG is SDG sine of 18.45 degrees plus the y component of SEF, which is 69.97 sine of 59.036 degrees plus 90, then equals GY, which is 135. So SDG is negative 47.43 kilonewtons. Then finally, we draw the free body diagram of joint D. So this is SAD. This is SDG, which is negative 47.43, and this is SCD. So the angle that SCD makes with the vertical is, this is 7.2 minus 5.4 minus 3.6 is 1.8, horizontally 1.8, vertically 1.8, so the angle is 45 degrees, this angle here, while the angle that AD and DG makes with the horizontal is 18.45 degrees. So since I want to set up an equation, summation forces about an axis y prime, so that AD SAD won't be involved. So y prime is an axis perpendicular to AD such that this force has no component in that direction. It is perpendicular to that direction. So, and this angle should be 18.45, so that AD and that axis would be perpendicular to each other. So summation forces y prime equals 0. The component of SCD in that direction is SCD cosine of quantity 45 degrees plus 18.45 degrees. Then plus negative 47.43. So this is 53.13 degrees. 53.13 degrees is 90 degrees minus 18.435 degrees minus 18.45 degrees. So 53.13 degrees. The component of negative 47.43 kilonewton force in that direction or along that direction is negative 47.43 cosine of 53.13 degrees. Then equate to 0. So SFG is 63.63 kilonewtons. You can also solve for SCD by summing up forces X, two equations to unknown. So SCD and SAD involved. So the equation would be SCD going to the left positive. So SCD sine 45 plus SAD cosine 18.45 degrees equals negative 47.43 cosine of 18.45 degrees. Equation 1. Then summation forces y equals 0. SCD cosine 45 plus SAD sine 18.45 degrees. Then equals positive 47.43 sine of 18.45 degrees. So the two equations will allow you to solve for SFG. So that's it for this video.